Oh my God. That was the worst. That was the worst. Like, that made Portland look good. That was the worst I have seen. And I know you might be saying, oh, but like, the Aaliyah Boston was gone. They beat this team. They were up 20 in the fourth quarter against this team with Kelsey Plum. With Kelsey Plum playing. And they were up 20 in the fourth quarter against this team without Aaliyah Boston earlier on in the year. I don't know what exactly Stephanie White was doing. I don't know what the Fever were doing. Like, the only player I'm not going to blame Lexi. I thought Lexi had a really good first half, pretty decent second half. Kelsey Mitchell shot the ball really well. We're not blaming Kelsey Mitchell. But like, what? Like, I get it. Sophie had back spasms. I get that. Like, I get that Sophie had back spasms. But, like, how do we let Ray Burrell score 22? How do we let Dearica Hamby and NECA combine for 45? And everyone being like, Dandas has 12 points. Yes, her matchups combined for 45 points. Sophie, back spasms. Ty Harris, I mean, I'm not going to blame Ty Harris. I thought Ty Harris was fine. Raven. Yeah, I just don't know. Just wasn't your night, I guess. It just wasn't your night, I guess. And like, I don't know how to evaluate Caitlin Clark tonight. Because objectively, she was terrible. Like, 9 points, 4 of 12, 3 assists, 4 turnovers. All 4 were live ball turnovers. Maybe one of them where KK just kind of chose not to catch the ball was a teammate's fault. 3 of them were her fault. She got 4 rebounds, I guess, in 15 minutes. And if you put that up to her normal minutes, it's 18 points, 6 assists, 8 boards. And it doesn't look too bad. But like, I cannot stress this enough. Caitlin played 3 minutes at the start of the game, and she looked brilliant. The team looked brilliant. It was clicking on all cylinders. And they were up by 6 points. All was good. And then she checks out of the game after 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, she checks out of the game. And it's like, okay, cool. And then obviously we know how the team plays an entirely different style when Caitlin Clark is off the floor and on the floor. And then Caitlin comes back on, and the rest of the game, she just goes and plays hero ball. Like, she gets 2 assists, is doing everything within the offense, starting off really well. The team looks really good. And then for the other 11 and a half minutes Caitlin Clark is on the floor, it's just hero ball. And I don't get it. But when Caitlin Clark's off the floor, it's Kelsey Mitchell hero ball. Like, I understand. I get a lot of things. I get the fact that this team plays 2 different styles. The problem is that Caitlin sometimes checks into this game and stops playing her game and tries to be like mini Kelsey Mitchell. She tries to do what Kelsey Mitchell does for the team, and she's not as good an isolation scorer as Kelsey Mitchell and doesn't look as good. Like, and she was also on weird lineups. Yeah, she played with the Van Slooten Dantas lineup. I'm like, what is going on? She played a decent chunk. Most of her plus minus was down to the Van Slooten lineup. And I don't even blame Van Slooten that much. Like, if you've got a young player who hasn't got much experience, you don't put her on the floor exclusively with Dantas and KK. And at least Dantas scored, I guess, today. At least Dantas scored. And yeah, obviously this team can't defend. Nobody on this team can defend. Like, and that's the one thing. Caitlin wasn't even on the floor long enough to complain about her defense today. She wasn't even on the floor long enough to complain about her defense. So I don't really want to hear that. And for anyone being like, oh, the turnovers lost him the game. Dude, she was only on the floor for She was off the floor for 25 minutes. She was off the floor for 25 minutes. But can people stop saying that Lexi Hull's a defender? She just let Ray Burrell drop a career high on her head. She can't play defense anymore, or any more than anyone else can. She can't guard anyone either. Lexi cannot guard anyone either. She can't guard anyone. We gotta stop pretending because Lexi Hull dives around and draws a few charges and gets a few rebounds that she can guard. She can't guard anybody. Mo Billings and Maisha Hines-Allen both played less minutes than Damiris Dantas. They both played less minutes than Dantas, and I get it, they weren't great. But I'm sorry. Why? Even if Danta's giving you 12 points in 21 minutes and she's still a negative on the floor, there's no point. There's no point. The team showed up with zero energy today. Zero. Zero energy. Raven, what about Raven? Raven was just bad. She's a rookie. You give her grace there. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Caitlin played the 7th most minutes on her team. She played the 7th most minutes. And if people want to say 16 turnovers, 18 assists, Caitlin was only responsible for 4 of them. It was also 12. But, I gotta be real here. This team's fucking dreadful. The Fever were supposed to have won that game on expected points, apparently. Apparently, the algorithm says the Fever, based on how that game was played, should have won. But, you're up double digits, and then, I don't know. You're up double digits, and I'm sitting there and I'm well, Fever are playing terrible. The Sparks are just worse. The Sparks are terrible. They're terrible. They're actually terrible. We made the worst team in the WNBA look good. And you might be saying, oh, no, they're not the worst team. Yes, they are. They lost to Seattle by 20. Connecticut just beat the Lynx. Connecticut are one of those teams that are ethically tanking. Same with the Storm. As in a close game, they don't really try to win. Their coach doesn't really try to win, doesn't play their vets, goes young, but they're not a bad team. This team is just straight up bad. They're not good at shooting, the Sparks. They're not really good. They're terrible defensively. They don't play hard. We made them look good. We got out hustled by the Sparks. The Sparks, who gave up 236 points over a 2-game spell. We gave up 106 points. The fucking Sparks. To the Sparks. Without Kelsey Plum. Whatever about the Sparks normally. Without Kelsey Plum. And the problem is, this current offense does not allow Caitlin Clark to be a playmaker because Caitlin Clark is an ISO scorer. She becomes an ISO scorer. The Indiana Fever are one game off breaking the record for the most games with 100 points conceded in a season. They have 23 games to go. They have 23 games left and they're about to tie the all-time record. What the actual fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? This is a defensive coach. This is the defensive coach. How is a defensive coach creating one of the worst defensive teams in the history of the sport? And the worst part is the Storm might be the worst defensive team in the history of the sport. And the Fever are still conceding more points than them. The Fever still concede more points than this team. This is embarrassing. It is hilariously embarrassing. This is one of those games I don't really care because it's it is so bad it's funny. I'm not even angry. This is so bad it's funny. It's so bad it's funny.